And I'd like to give a little bit more detail about each of these generations, because for those folks that are listening that have people in different age groups that they work with, and they might be wondering, who are these people and what do they want? The silent generation is often called this because there's that sense that I think is inaccurate, that there's not much that they have to talk about, that they're retiring or have long since retired. They really don't have anything to contribute to the conversation today. Later on, I will say a little bit more about why I think that is definitely a myth, because what I've seen is that this generation is still viable. Many are still in the workplace, and that's more than just as Walmart greeters. They are really contributing a great deal. They were influenced by the Great Depression and World War II, and so they can really relate to deprivation and sacrifice. Many in this age group appreciate tradition, appreciate loyalty, particularly on the part of employers, and they will be very loyal to employers. And their mantra is, if I had to say there's a mantra for them, you get a job, you keep a job. This is an age group I like because they're going to be making sure those cartridges are used, those ink cartridges, to the very last drop. The next generation are the boomers, and this is a wide age group between the 50s up to the early 70s, and likewise they are often called the black and white TV babies because there was no color TV when the oldest boomers were born, and the color TV babies on the later end in the 1960s. They grew up in times of great societal change, especially in the 1960s. Think about the legislation around civil rights, about women's rights. The pill became popular, and so women had some control over how many children if they chose to. So the mantra, if I had to give a mantra for the boomers, would be, you work hard, you pay your dues, and if you're going to get ahead, it can't be just because you show up. You have to make some contributions. Generation X was named by Douglas Coupland, the Canadian novelist I mentioned, and he felt that this was a generation that still, at the time he wrote this book in 1991, had a lot to prove. Now Gen Xers are running corporations. They've made many contributions to the workplace and to the world around them. They were shaped by a couple of factors that were personal factors, most notably that they're more likely to be the children of dual career couples or even of divorce more than previous generations. One of the reasons that they are leery of or cautious about authority figures is because they became disenchanted back between the mid-'80s and mid-'90s when their parents were getting downsized, right-sized. They're getting kicked out of organizations. And so they really don't have a sense that they're going to stay with the company for more than a few years. They're going to probably start their own organization. This is an age group that grew up with technology. We think so much that the Millennials and the Gen Zers are the only ones that are comfortable with technology. Actually, the Gen Xers are very comfortable with technology too. Their mantra is, tell me what the mission is, tell me what you want me to accomplish, and then don't hover over me. Get the heck out of the way and let me do my job. The Generation Y or Millennials relate the most to the radio babies or the silent generation because the radio babies, they feel, built the infrastructure of our country and our organizations and are very integrity and value driven, as are the millennials. So if you want to have somebody in your organization who is going to be the big brother or big sister or the coach or the mentor, if you still got radio babies around, that's the group to connect. This is a group that is very street smart, if you will, very savvy about the world around them because they are hooked in through technology literally immediately to what's going on. This is a group that watched when they were younger planes going into a high-rise in New York and school shootings. So unfortunately, for that reason, they're very safety-oriented and want to make sure that where they work and the schools for their children are completely safe. This is a big interest for them. Their mantra, that why question, why do we have to do it your way? We're smart. We know a thing or two. Generation Z, we're still learning a lot about because the youngest ones are 12 years old. However, we've got some high school Gen Zers who are at work and those just coming out of college, and they're accustomed to a fast pace, a lot going on at the same time. No, they don't all have ADD. It's just that they're used to play dates and school activities and having 2 or 3 things going on at one time, multitasking. They're very close to their parents and their family members. Many of them not only live at home now, the ones that are out of college are coming back. And this is also true of the younger millennials. They really want to stay close to home. They, too, have a very close link with technology. That's why they use technology to network with other people, and that's why they're called linkers. The one coachable opportunity is that they don't, by their own admission, handle conflict well. They'll text anything that's on their mind to discuss issues that they have, but they won't necessarily face-to-face say, so, Marla, I have a problem and we need to talk about it, but they'll text it. Their mantra, because they've been treated very well and are adored by coaches, parents, aunts, uncles, friends, I'm just wonderful. Accept it. I'm here. Aren't you lucky?